Hi there, U.S. History Survey. It's Miss Bank, and I am recording this video today to show you how your Google Classroom is going to work and our U.S. History Survey class is going to work now that we're transitioning officially into our modern classroom method. So obviously, as you see here in front of you, you are looking at or an example of our U.S. History class. You'll notice that I deleted the Aspire to Do Now journal. We're going to transition to a different type of do now, but I'll explain in just a moment what that will be. So, what you'll do in class is each unit is going to begin just as this unit is beginning with a video from me where you will be taking some guided notes. That is the first part. So, I put together a little Google slide deck here to explain exactly how our classroom is going to work. So, as a modern classroom, basically, as I said, each student is going to be working at their own pace. And with each lesson, the goal is that you master that lesson before you move on to something. You'll have the opportunity to revise as many things as you would like to revise, but also have the opportunity to learn more if you are really moving on and getting on forward with your mastery of our US history topics. So each class and um, each lesson, will start with our lesson objective, where today our objective is to explain the structure or parts of a modern classroom. Now, each video that I give you is also going to be accompanied by guided notes that I'll show in just a moment. Our daily classroom expectations are, we have headphones in class. If you are listening to a video, that you are using the headphones that we have here. I have a whole large number of headphones if you've forgotten your own. And the expectation is that when you're watching a video, you're really watching it. That only Google Classroom, the video that is an example right here, right now, and your guided notes should be open. Guided notes will be given in a Google Doc on the assignment with the lesson, like the one you are looking at today. And the guided notes will go along with the instruction that I give. So, what are the structures of our class and what are the structures of our lesson? Our course as a whole is split into units. Since today isn't really a unit about history, it's a unit about the structure of our class. We're calling it Unit 0. So today is Unit 0, Lesson 1. So part of any daily lesson is our daily do now. We've done that the last couple days of classes in the first 5 minutes. Instead of doing your do now journal, you're going to be using do now sheets that are either given out to you as you come in the door by myself, or are located in the mail slot labeled period 3, period 5, period 6 do now sheets, which are behind Miss Bank's desk in the big blue mail slot box. After 5 minutes, you're going to turn in your do now sheet back to me when you are finished, or if we're having a discussion as part of our do now, that you turn those in then as well. As part of the do now, I'll be presenting the tracker of where you should be on pace for our lessons leading up to our big assessment at the end of a unit, a project, some sort of thing at the end of a full unit where you'll show what you've learned through all these lessons. The progress tracker will tell you where you are. Are you on pace? If you should be on lesson 2, are you on lesson 2? Or maybe are you a little behind and you still haven't completed lesson 1? Or maybe you're ahead of pace and you're already moving on and ready to go on to lesson 3. So the daily do now sheet, just so you can see, is going to look like this. Okay, where you put your name, the date, what lesson you're on, and the pacer will be up in front of the class, something along the lines of this. So going back to our notes, that is the first part of the lesson, the do now, the first 5 minutes. So you're what's part 2 then? Part 2 is to watch the entire video. Videos are not meant to be very long, 10 minutes or less, and take the guided notes. All lessons have videos and guided notes, and you may watch the video as many times as you need to finish those guided notes and whatever tools you might need. So you'll see here, I have guided notes here We already went over the objective, so the goal would be to write the objective that I have in the notes and then also fill in the right side of these guided notes. Again, feel free to watch these videos back, use any type of tool that you need to help you. So that is part 2. So then what is part 3? Okay, you've watched the video, your notes are finished. So now what? So part 3 is going to be an assignment which relates to the US history content in the video. The video you watch as part of our lesson today is more about like parts of history, just as, this is part of our structure. But all of our other lessons will be assignments related to the topic itself. So with this, you have the option of working alone, you have the option of working with a partner or with a group. But if you're working with a group, remember that these assignments are meant to prepare you for your big mastery check. If you do not do the work yourself, the mastery check is totally independent. So you want to make sure that you are actually doing these assignments, but you're also there to help one another if you need to as well. In order to ask me for a mastery check and move on, you need to have me look over your assignment before you can move on to that mastery check. If your assignment looks good, you can move on. And that brings us to the 4th and final part of a lesson. This is our mastery check. This is where you show what you know and what you've learned. Typically, they're half sheets of paper, also located in the mail slot. I'll show you the space in class. And in order to move on and say, yep, you did it, you finished this lesson, you have to try to earn 85%. If you don't earn that 85%, you can revise as many times as necessary to move on to the next lesson. The mastery check has to be done independently. You cannot use your cell phone and you cannot use your laptop, okay? You are showing me that you have learned what you needed to learn and you're not using something as assistance. So that's really how our lessons are going to be structured. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that one class equals one lesson. One lesson might be multiple classes. One lesson might be half a class. It all depends on the lesson and what it's about for that day. So, and as such, part of this is while you are doing these steps in class, I am here to help you at all times around the room, making sure that you're staying on pace, doing what you need to do. So what's next? If your guided notes that you have with this lesson are complete, you're ready to move on to your Unit 0 Lesson 1 assignment. You will find an Edpuzzle on Google Classroom on primary and secondary sources. When you are ready, you will complete Unit 0 Lesson 1 Mastery Check. Our goal is to have you be able to complete this mastery check to keep you on pace by the end of class on Thursday. As I said, Monday and Tuesday, we will come together at the end of each class for the last 5 minutes to wrap up the day every day, regardless of where you are. Because as I said, we're working at whatever pace works best for you with my assistance. And I hope that this is something that you are excited about and are ready to get started with, okay? So just to show you a quick peek, your mastery check here is online, but I will have it on paper in class when you are ready for it. So if your notes are good, you're ready to roll onto your assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know.